Today we're going to talk about navigating new friendship opportunities, making new connections, moving on, continuing to grow, try new things when your old friend, who isn't your friend anymore, is still there on the outskirts of your social circles. Maybe you still have friends in common. Maybe they know your family. Maybe you're both the members of the same social groups, organizations. Maybe you worship at the same place, but it didn't end well. Maybe it didn't end badly. You outgrew each other. You moved on. But moving on, even if there's no drama, always comes with a little bit of hurt. Sometimes a lot of hurt. Sometimes there's guilt. Sometimes there's just sadness. Sometimes one of you really has a broken heart, but the other person has moved on for whatever the reason, and you've dealt with it, but now you're trying to make new friends, and you keep ending up in those circles. You cross paths. It could be in the grocery store. It could be at the bank. It could be anywhere in town. So how do you navigate that? Well, we got a great question from a member of our community. So let's get right into it. So obviously I didn't change my clothes. Same outfit. It was the same day. We just split it into two videos. And I wanted to share with you, next week I will be in Tofino. I've shared with you on the channel before. It's my favorite place in the world to visit. This will be my 5th trip there. Takes 2 days to get there, a good 2 days to get home. Plane, car, ferry, but you finally get there. But I'll be doing vlogs on the beach from Tofino, and I look forward to sharing the beautiful Vancouver Island with you. Got a really thoughtful comment from someone in our community, and they asked, how do you build new connections in the same community that maybe you've lived in for a long time? How do you navigate awkwardness of meeting and getting to know new people, getting involved in new groups when that old friend is still there? Maybe it's a small community. Maybe this is a senior center where you run into people, but maybe you're getting to know other people. And if you feel awkward in this kind of a situation, let me tell you, you are not alone. So I've shared I live in a small city, large town, somewhere in between. I've lived here for 29 years, and for 14 of those years, I was a city councilwoman, and for 6 years, I was the mayor. Well, I've had friendships come and go. I have shared openly on this channel that I had so many friends when I was the mayor. Well, at least I thought I had so many friends. But what I realized is when I wasn't the mayor anymore, those people scattered. Now, I'm not naive. I knew a lot of the people were just around while I had the title, and once I didn't have the title anymore, they had no need for me, no use for me. I couldn't do anything for them. So they moved on to the next mayor. Yeah, in some cases it hurt. Some people really make you feel like they like you, like they're invested in the connection until one day you wake up and it's like a light switch, somebody turned it off. Actually, the term friendship can just literally irritate me so much because no one knows what it means anymore. It's been so watered down. So as a result, many women set unrealistic expectations. We think we don't have any friends, but maybe the word we should be using is connections. Because sometimes we think we have friends that aren't really friends, or we don't know how to make friends because we don't even know how to define friendship. Social media has really dumbed down what friendship should be, what it used to be, and we're really at a point in our life where we don't know which way to turn. So people always say, friends for a reason, friends for a season. Yeah, okay, I get it. But there's a lot of hurt in between there. I mean, it's easy to rationalize, it's easy to rationalize, but it still can hurt. And outgrowing a friend outgrowing you, it doesn't have to end in drama, big fight, harsh words. But you almost feel when someone dumps you, or if someone grows apart from you quickly, that there's something wrong with you, that you're not likable anymore, or they've moved on to new people. And maybe in the back of our heads we think, oh, I hope they're not talking about me, I hope I'm, but you walk into a room with these people and you feel awkward until you tell yourself not to feel awkward. And it's like a word guilt that we talked about in our last video. No. These are things we put on ourselves. We presume that other people are looking at a situation the same way that we are. People are talking about us behind our back. Okay, maybe they are, but who cares? We can't stop it. And honestly, there are women that just relish talking behind other women's backs. I've done plenty of videos about the flying monkeys, and boy, are they out there. They love letting you know that they know something you don't know, or they've heard something, or they know what happened. I love the women that are like, oh, I heard you guys weren't friends anymore. Yeah, I heard that didn't end well. Okay, seriously? Seriously? They just want you to respond. They want to know that they got to you. Yuck. I can't stand those kind of women. But again, if maybe you're part of a larger social group and you had a group of friends, it's like being a kid in the cafeteria in elementary school and trying to sit at a new table with new people. Not only are you nervous about what the new people are going to think about you, but you're really worried about what your old pals are going to be saying about you behind your back. It's the same thing. We don't change. We learn it on the playground and we just take it into womanhood. So yes, I have had to deal with this so much. And knowing that happened, but never having any closure, not that I necessarily needed it, but it's nice sometimes I wish someone would come up to me and say, I love being friends with you while you were the mayor, but hey, you're not the mayor anymore, it's not working for me, so I'm gonna move on. But you oftentimes have to share the stage with that person, or sit in a group with that person, or work with that person. Your paths cross, your shopping carts paths in the grocery aisle. Anything can happen. So what works for me is I kind of have reframed how I'm going to operate in this town that I've lived in for 29 years and will live here probably forever. I get to expand my social world. You get to expand your social world without making an announcement. You don't owe anyone an explanation for moving on, especially the flying monkeys. You don't owe anyone an explanation for building new groups, for trying new interests, because you're not replacing anyone. You're just changing. You're moving on. And the last thing you want to do is let old relationships limit new relationships. And I think this works if you're if you've lived in the same town for a really long time, or if you've moved into a new time. Awkwardness leads to guilt. Guilt tells us we're doing something wrong. And so then we just stop doing anything and we stay home and we hide. You're allowed to grow. It's not a betrayal to grow. And remember, old friends sure liked you well enough when they were your friends. So it's not about you not being likable. It's about that friendship just didn't work for either one of you. You don't need to over-explain. You sure don't need to hide at home. And you're not responsible for managing other people's discomfort. They can interpret what happened however they want to. Like I said, the flying monkeys are going to make up stuff no matter what really happened. They need the drama. So just let them stay in their lane. You move on to what makes you feel comfortable. Don't perform. Don't do things you don't want to do just to kind of force yourself into making new connections. It does take work, but don't force yourself. And don't force yourself to do something you don't want to do, or to go to a new place that you don't want to go, or leave a group that you don't want to leave because there's someone there that you're letting make you feel uncomfortable. And sometimes even a little bit sick to your stomach. You know, it's just that awful butterfly feeling that turns into yuck. I love the word shift. We're just shifting. Relationship shift. You don't need a defined reason for why something happened and why something doesn't work anymore. We've just shifted, right? Some of those old friendships will, disappear. Some will remain cordial. And, some will surprise you. I always say you don't owe everyone a 5-minute conversation. It's okay to walk into a room with a smile on your face. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. We didn't have a contract with that person. We weren't exclusive. We get to live our life. They get to live their life. And if there's someone out there, a flying monkey, who is trying to stir the pot, cause some resentment, cause some jealousy, honestly, it's more about them than about you. It's their character, and it speaks volumes about them. And talking about moving on from those old friends, we moved on, okay? We don't have anything to prove. We get to listen to ourselves now. It's not about choosing relationships where you feel like you have to constantly earn your place, or you feel like you're walking on eggshells. You're being fed breadcrumbs just to stick around. You're allowed to change. And maybe the most important thing is that resume, trusting yourself. Stop selling yourself short, because we're not broken, we're not old, we're just redefining ourselves, and we get to continue to grow. It takes work, okay? It's not easy, but we get to do it our way. So yes, we get to feel awkward, but we get to move on, because friendship at our age isn't about proving loyalty to the past, loyalty to the future. It's about honoring what we're feeling, that gut feeling that we haven't been paying attention to for a long time. We do get to change. And I'd love to hear in the comments what's changed for you as you've gotten to these golden years when it comes to friendship. And I hope that you will share this conversation with some of the women in your life. I think we steer clear of each other because we don't know what we're looking for, and we don't know how to reconnect. But find the places that fill you up. Challenge yourself to new things. Even if you don't like it, you move on. But take that new class, try that new hobby, do something you have thought about but never really had the time or ability to do. If you are able to travel, if you are able to get out and hike, or learn how to play mahjong, if you have the stamina to learn to play pickleball. And once you find something you enjoy, stick to it. If you join a Rotary Club, if you join your local Y, if you're part of a senior center, show up, participate, sign up to maybe do a little extra here and there, because people will get to know you. When people get to know you and learn that they can count on you, they will start to connect with you. And back to where I started, I love those little spaces that we build in our life. Different people for different spaces. And friendship doesn't have to be about one person or two people or three people. It can be about different things that you enjoy doing and the people that you connect with when you're doing those things that you love. Take care. If you haven't subscribed, I hope you'll hit that button. Subscribe. Take care. Bye-bye.